Do I hear Brad Paul?
Yeah. 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 That is my kicks up.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Underwater.
Well, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Underwater FlyZone podcast. We got a good one for you today. I have not recorded an episode since the engagement podcast. I feel kind of out of the game, but we're here and we're gonna record a banger here today. We got Katlynn McConville, Miss Viral, in the building today. Y'all got to know her by now. I mean, she has the second most viral piece of content we've ever put out. So, how do you feel about that?
It's so good.
So
I
good.
don't know.
No,
We love the zoomed in face.
She is. You said you were
I'm not
like,
embarrassed.
Not embarrassed, but you're like. It's crazy. It is crazy to think about. Sometimes it's like, dang, 80,000 people have seen you talk.
Yeah.
That close up.
No, not embarrassed. Feels good. Yeah. I don't know.
It's lit. We're gonna do it again.
Mm-hmm. Before she leaves tomorrow.
Yeah, it is a sad day
going
too.
Back to school tomorrow.
Wait. Oh, it is. I guess whenever we drop this.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Anyways, introduce yourself.
Hi guys. My name is about to be Mrs. Huggins, fiance over here.
Oh my goodness.
I'm in like a really silly mood, so
yeah,
I need to regroup.
She is in a silly mood.
Because I'm past tired, and we literally went to a workout class, so I'm not kind of down off my high.
Yeah, we just got done with yoga.
Yeah.
And then I just got done with a 12-hour day teaching. It was my first ever meet the teacher night.
Oh, how was that?
It was cool. It was cool. It was just
good.
a lot of talking. Like
I know.
I could talk to people all day, but it pushed the limits. I will say
Really?
that.
You need to recharge.
Well, I mean, I had a full day of work, and then it ended off by talking to parents for 2.5 hours, and all of them really wanted to get to know me because I was new. And it was cool though.
Yeah.
It was lit. But anyways, so how you guys been? How's life been since the last time? You haven't been on in a long time. Mayci obviously was just on. Katlynn, how have you been since the last time you were on? Like, genuinely, don't just say good. Like, you know what I'm saying?
No, I feel like I've actually genuinely been good. I mean, I can't really think of anything that's happened. I've spent a lot of time with you guys.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
Yeah, me and Macy have been doing yoga this week. Not much else. I've just been getting prepared to go back to school and start my senior year, which is crazy.
Yeah.
That's insane to me.
Yeah.
You're about to leave us and your dog.
I know, it's
Yeah,
actually
no.
sad, dude.
It
Caitlin's
is
like our
really
best
sad.
friend right now.
We've spent a lot of time together this summer.
Wait, you are leaving your dog? You're not bringing the dog?
I'm going to leave him at home for the first week so I can see what my class schedule is like. But then, so I'm going to see if I can actually take him because I don't want him to just sit in my room all day.
Yeah.
I would feel really bad if he like never got to see the outside.
That's valid. That's
So.
valid. But yeah, dude, it is so sad because, like you said, this is the group right here. Me,
Yeah.
Macy, and our third wheel.
No,
The
you're
best
a
third wheel.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're a third wheel.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
It's our
go to
Paradigm
Paradigm.
group.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Paradigm
I'm
group.
going to miss Paradigm
Mm-hmm.
a lot.
Hey,
We
but-
ended with a banger though.
We did.
We
Awesome.
ended with
It
the
was
best
great.
week ever.
That was the best week. We had Pastor Phil come and talk. If you don't know what Paradigm is, let's shout it out. We've always said we
Yeah.
would. If you want a place to go and you're between the ages of 18 to 30, Paradigm is the place, bro. We've been going all
Yeah.
summer, and it's really what has helped me a lot in my faith, and I would love for any of y'all to come with us. Caitlin's leaving us, so we need new friends to come.
Yeah.
So.
And even if you're not close to like Lee Summit, like find a place where you can do a young adult like group like
Yeah.
that because it has really changed my life. Like
Yeah.
I think I was telling Macy in the car on the way here, I was like, I've seen all three of us like grow so much just over the summer.
I
Which
agree.
is crazy.
I agree. That's so true.
It's really changed me a lot.
It's
I feel
definitely
like.
been going to Paradigm consistently and having
Yeah.
that community
Mm-hmm.
because that was a big thing that
Yeah.
we needed.
For sure. It's been cool. Like, this is our little group, but now it's the end, or at least for now.
Yeah.
Until next year, and then you'll be home
Yeah.
for good.
Yep.
Hopefully, we'll see where.
Unless
Life
you want to
takes me.
travel.
Yeah. Well, how have you been, Macy? What's been going on since the engagement pod?
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, yeah, I've obviously been on Cloud 9 ever since.
It's been a lot of other stuff though.
It's been a kind of a roller coaster because you would think like right after you get engaged you'd be so excited and all that stuff, and I was so excited, but I was like, okay, we need to get straight to planning like where we want to do a venue and all
Yeah.
this stuff because we want to get married we don't want to be engaged for longer than a year. So
We're trying to get married right now.
Yeah.
Like ASAP.
yeah, so that's why I was a little stressed. But honestly, like, I feel really good. Like, I just feel like where we are right now, it's kind of on a stable position. We're kind of you're getting into your career. I'm like gonna be home for my senior year, and I feel like right now we're where we're supposed to be.
I agree. And I think we've kind of actually been enjoying the wedding. At least I've been enjoying the wedding planning process, like looking at all the venues and
Oh
stuff.
yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, we finally found our spot, which we don't have to even talk about it, but we did find our spot.
Yeah, we found our spot, and
Yeah.
it's gonna be in June.
We're keeping it small though. I'll say this. I want to say this to anybody watching. Like, I had some questions that I had to ask myself looking for the venue that I didn't think I'd have to ask. Like, there was this one venue we went to, and it was so cool. They had built it from the ground up. It was like a 2-year-old building, cool lights, cool speakers, surround sound.
Technology was insane.
Yeah, my room was like 2 flat screen TVs and like couches and all this stuff, and then the bride's room was like a balcony.
It was insane. Like, that would have been the perfect wedding if you were looking for the stuff that's, just the outward appearance.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, and it was like, dang, this place is sick. Like, it was also
cool.
affordable. It was affordable. We could have done it there.
But
But it was almost like the wedding part, like the ceremony part was like pushed to the side. It was like, yeah, we'll do that, but
Yeah.
look at this. Like, look at the lights. Look at these speakers. Look at the bar. And I'm like, wait. What is a wedding? Like, I literally was like, what even is a wedding? Like, what's the point of this? Like, is it to like have cool
Party.
speakers and like
Yeah.
cool lights and have a big party? Or is it coming together before God and saying, we are in this together forever? You know what I'm saying? Like, officially, like, I don't know. It really, that was an interesting experience. I did not think I'd have to
I know,
experience.
and it was so crazy because I felt like convicted almost. Well, not convicted, but I told Foster, I said, this is why I'm going to marry you, because right whenever we left, I was like, Foster, that's insane. Like, it's awesome.
We were both like, this place is breathtaking.
But
like, it was crazy.
He was the one that told me, he said, okay, but did you like feel God? Do you think that God would have been at the center there? Like,
Yeah,
And
I was like, where's God in this place?
Yeah,
like, I
where's
didn't
God?
see him,
And that's where I stopped thinking about all this fantasy stuff, and I was thinking reality, and it was just so crazy cool. I was like, this is the man that is going to be my leader. So I just thought that was really what we needed. And
Yeah.
that's when we really looked at every other venue with kind of caution, and not
I
with
guess.
what the people would be. They're obviously going to want to show you the best parts and all this cool stuff, but we're going to have to think, okay, do we see Christ at the center if we get married there?
That was the question I was asking. I was like, where was God? The lights were cool. The building was cool. The story of the building was cool. But where was God? If it's not about God, then what's it about? Getting a license signed so the government knows you're married? Like, that.
Yeah.
That's stupid to me. Like, the only reason marriage is a thing is because of
It's just
God,
so
you know?
crazy. And you really like, the ceremony is the most important part. It is not the boring part, and I just think that the reception, the party afterwards should be because so happy because of how the ceremony was,
Yeah.
that should not be
yeah.
overlooked past.
And that being said, the ceremony will be great, and the after part will also be great. We found a good medium. We're not just
Yeah.
like, screw the reception. No, we are going to have a lit
It's going to be
reception too.
awesome.
We're keeping it family, though, keeping it low, because, that's the way I like to go.
Yeah.
Keeping it family-centered. So if you feel like you got left out, just know we're not inviting barely anybody. We're keeping it low-key. Anyways, enough wedding talk. Caitlin probably hears enough of this crap.
She did. That's all we've been talking about.
But
I
she
love
gets
it.
excited.
Yeah, and I've never even heard you guys talk about that one venue, so must.
Oh,
wanna-
Yeah, I don't want to, bruh.
God.
I'm going to have to cut that out.
Good.
Shout out to that place. They were cool, dude. Just not for us.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just call it out. Anyways, yeah, you never heard us talk about it. We had to cut a little bit out.
Are we going to cut that out?
Yes,
Okay.
100%.
You guys.
anyways, so
Just
we had a
quickly.
good topic we want to get into today. We have a good topic we want to get into today. Do you want me to introduce it or what, Caitlin? I feel like you're the most fired. I'm fired up, but I feel like you're the most fired up about
I'm
it.
not.
I can introduce it.
Like you can introduce it. I just love talking about this stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'll introduce it by saying this. You should not live your life in worry or live your life in fear. You should live your life trusting in God. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing that a lot of people said going into the wedding planning even. This is just an example I'll use because we were just talking about it. People are always like, dude, it is the most stressful time of your life. It is the hardest thing ever. And I'm just sitting here like, why? Like, why is it hard? You are getting married. It should be like a celebration time. I'm not going to sit here and worry about what could go right, could go wrong, whatever. I'll prepare for sure, but I'm not going to sit and worry. Instead, I'll trust in God, and I'll give the example of David and Goliath, which these two we talked about it before. They said they're going to steal it, but too bad. Gotcha. Anyways, David and Goliath, obviously, and I'm not going to act like I know this story perfectly, but I do know that David was just somewhat over normal type of guy, right? And Goliath is a freaking beast. And David's going in to fight Goliath. And in this fight, most people would be like, dude, how are you not freaking out? How are you not so worried going in to fight this beast? Instead of David, instead of being worried, he went into the battle saying, God, be with me. He leaned on God instead of leaning on worry. And I feel like that's something really respectable that I want to model my life after, especially after going into like, first of all, wedding planning, but then like my first year of teaching. I feel like so many people are so worried right now, but I'm like, dude, if anything, I'm worried that I'm not worried because like I am ready. I accept that there will be challenges. There will be things I'll have to overcome. There will be failures. There will be successes. This is all going to happen. Me worrying about it right now is literally such a waste of time. Like that's my way of looking at it. And just leaning on God and being like, God, if this is really where you want me to be with me and help me push through this. And I don't know.
Yeah, I agree for sure. And I will say that obviously we went to 4 wedding venues, and sorry if I keep talking about the wedding, but that was kind of a big theme that I was stressing about.
Yeah.
So it's so funny though, because we picked the first one that we went to.
Yeah, we
and
did.
the reason why we kept going to more is because I was worrying and I was stressing out, I was thinking of all of these possibilities, overthinking it. And it's just crazy because I would pray every single time going to the venue. I'd say, God, like, close the doors that are not from you and open the ones that are. And it's just so funny because if we would have just picked the first one that we knew all along, we've been talking about for years, this is the one, we would have saved I would have saved myself so much stress and sleepless nights. My heart would beat so fast.
She was stressing big time.
Yeah.
Which, were we talking about that last night or 2 nights ago? About which wedding venue to pick.
I think it was last night.
And then she told me today
Or
that she was
Tuesday
picking
night.
the first one. But I feel like you were stressing so much about the wedding venue. And you were telling me that night when we were talking about it, you were like, I just don't want to like pick this one and then like not go and look at the other ones because what if there's better out there? And like in my head, I was like, you don't need the best one. You really don't need the best one. 100%. You need the best one for you guys.
Yeah.
And the first one was you guys, and you guys knew that all along. But you just had to find the one that was meant for you guys, not the best venue out there.
I agree. And I was also saying, I'm like, is it really, does the venue really matter that much? It's more about the people that are there, you know what I'm saying? So
the community that you have at your wedding.
And that may sound corny, but literally, like, I told you this when we were looking at some of these more expensive places. I'm like, I would have just as good of a time at the clubhouse back deck, like a little tiny wedding.
Yeah.
It's all about the people there. Like
at the end of the day, it doesn't matter where you get married.
100%.
It's about you guys becoming one.
Yeah.
So this place we chose was really stress free, and I'm just like,
it was literally it was the most perfect one for us, at least.
And we keep joking about Mayci becoming bridezilla, and you're just the complete
I'm
opposite.
Bridezilla.
We needed that balance, but it's just so crazy because of what you said. When you said, obviously there's going to be better in life. There's always going to be someone better looking, more in shape, smarter. There's always going to be something better out there. But if you start to strive to get better and look at the better and obviously look at the better, but like try to be better and better. I'm doing a horrible analogy because obviously you are supposed to be better. But if I'm like saying you're not content with where you're at and what you have, then you're going to end up failing yourself because I just feel like, there is going to be someone better looking than you. So
yeah, it's good to appreciate what you have instead of worrying about so much about what you don't have,
Yes.
So
for sure.
I get what you were trying to say. Anyways, Katlynn, so you said you were fired up about this topic. Let's
Foster,
feel the
quit
fire,
calling me
bro.
out.
Ooh.
I just think like, oh,
No.
Let's go. Jack's like, what?
Oh my goodness, someone just got destroyed, dude.
yeah.
Anyways, let's get it.
I just think like anxiety is a huge problem in
Yeah.
our lives today and everybody's lives, and I think we use medicine a lot to fix that. When in reality, you don't need medicine at all to fix.
I agree.
There are cases, obviously, like I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for this, but there are cases where you do need help and you do need to go to a doctor. But for me, I think when it comes to anxiety and worry and depression and all that stuff, there is one answer that can fix it.
Yeah.
I
And we've
agree.
talked about this so many times.
Yeah.
And it's just,
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people know about it.
I
just
agree.
think a lot of people don't trust and believe that you can fix a lot of your problems by coming to God.
I 100% agree, and I think that that's a message that is so not pushed, but it's such a solution, dude. Like it is the solution, and
Yeah.
I wish more people would be open to hearing that advice and hearing that truth. But you know, with the world we live in, it's
As
kind
a
of
Christian,
different.
it kind of feels like you're walking on eggshells a lot of the time
I
when you
agree.
talk. So like it always feels like I have to be careful with what I say whenever
Yeah.
it comes to situations like that, because no matter what, people are always going to take what you say wrong,
Yeah,
or people are always going to misperceive how you say things. So
I have a lot of friends that had anxiety and started taking medicine, and that medicine kind of
it makes you,
it made them into like a zombie almost.
yeah, it changes who you are. Like it literally, like physically, mentally, all of it changes you.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to. Like
Exactly.
you don't need it.
Yeah, and you could like finding God changes all that emotion and turns it into
Yeah.
a new life, dude. It's like a new piece, and we can't sit here and probably convince a lot of people with the facts and the blah blah blah. But I hope you can look at me and see that like, oh, this dude was once depressed and broken. He's talked about it a million times. Now he is whatever I am now. I feel like I'm pretty at peace and like driven in life, and I'm sure you too and many people watching could say the same. Look how many lives God has changed throughout generations after generation after generation. What else is doing that, dude? Like nothing else.
Yeah. I would say before I knew God, I wouldn't say I was like a anxious person. I wouldn't say that I had anxiety or depression. I've always been a very calm-minded person.
Yeah.
But until I like found my relationship with God and like found a like solid relationship with him and I was like walking with him consistently, that's when I looked back on like past years and I was like, oh my gosh, I was like a zombie. I was like anxious all the time, always worrying about tomorrow, always worrying about what was going to come in the future. Until like now, I'm just always at peace. I feel like I'm much more like in the present moment, and like I'm always just like I'm not worried about what's going to happen to me. Like right now, I'm starting my senior year, and like that comes with like you're thinking of career. Like you're
Yeah.
thinking of what you're
Yeah.
going to do for the rest of your life after this next year, and I could be so worried about it right now, but if I was worried about what I'm going to do after I graduate, I'm going to miss my whole senior year, and it's going to fly by, and I'm going to be like I'm not going to remember any of it or any of the good times.
Exactly.
Like all I have right now, like all we have is right now, and we've been
100%.
saying that.
We've been saying
All
that.
we have is right now, and like if you worry about tomorrow, you're gonna miss today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's something I could say is like, this is something I've been thinking a lot about lately is we think so much about the future and, oh, the next day. That's robbing you of this present moment because the future doesn't exist. There's no guarantee that you're even going to wake up tomorrow morning. There is nothing guaranteeing that moment does not exist. All you have is right now. You can't change what happened before. You can't change the fact that you don't even know what's coming. All you can do is do the best you can right now. And that is special. And as you were talking, I thought of something that I didn't even think of until right now, which is crazy. But do you think that part of the reason we sin a lot of times is because we're worried about something? Like, think about this. Like, you sin, you drink because you're worried about not fitting in. You have sex because you're worried about, whatever. You're always worried about, like, other people's perceptions or worried about missing out. Oh, I want to do this because I don't want to miss out. I want to do this drug because I don't want to miss out. I want to, drive down the highway
Yeah,
at
I haven't thought
150
about
miles
that.
an hour.
I've always had a problem with like worrying about what other people think of me, so I've definitely sinned because of what like the crowd I'm hanging out with at the time is gonna think of me.
Yeah, that's so
And
true.
also
I
think
haven't
about
thought about
this,
that.
like adultery in a way. It's like if you're with your person and then you see another person that's more attractive, you're almost worried that you're missing out on something.
Yeah.
Worry is like a root of sin. That's
It's
crazy.
like the wedding venue. When me and Mayci were talking about it the other night, I related it to relationships. I was like, if you're constantly looking for something better, you're gonna miss what's right in front of you. And this could be the perfect person for you, and you're gonna be looking for something better from the outward appearance and from looking on the outside, and you'll just miss what's right in front of you.
Which is what
same
we
thing
almost
with
did.
like living in the moment.
Yeah.
How do we combat that? Like, how do we fight worrying and then sinning because we're worrying? Would it just be to like love what you have?
Well,
I'm trying to
just to
think now.
trust.
This is so
God.
unplanned. Like, this just came to me right now.
Yeah.
Well, I think a big thing that I've been going through this summer and like trying to learn is that the enemy is always going to try to put sin in front of you in ways that you won't even notice. So the devil's going to show up not as the guy with the horns and like fire coming up. He's going to show up as a normal person. He's going to show up by bringing somebody into your life that's not meant to be there. And the only way you can get through that is by knowing God's word and trusting in God's word and like being able to discern whether it's coming from God or whether it's coming from the devil. And when you know it's coming from God, that's when you feel peace, you feel comfort, you feel like you just have this sense of peace, and you know when it's coming from God. If it's coming from the devil, it's going to bring confusion. It's going to bring a lot of pain and
Worry, doubt.
Yeah, worry is going to bring a lot of uncertainty.
Yeah, that's true.
What did you gotta say, Mayci? You've been quiet.
Well, there was something I was gonna say about the medicine, but we already passed that.
No, I'll go back to it.
Go back to it, yeah. It's a huge issue today, and I just feel like
and we're only 20 minutes in. Let's keep it
you
going.
always walk on eggshells when people talk about this, I feel like.
Yeah. So what did you gotta say?
Well, so I've always told Katlynn, like, I don't, well, and obviously this is me. I don't believe in what people label, what sometimes doctors prescribe people and label as anxiety, or you have depression, or you are depressed, because I just see it with my family who have been, depressed or down and stuff. Seeing them take medicine, it makes it so much worse. And God said, what you set your mind to, like, that's your thoughts will follow. If the doctor tells you you're depressed, you have anxiety, and you label yourself like that, you're going to have that in your life. And the reason why I don't have anxiety anymore, I've never taken medicine and all that stuff, is because I told myself anxiety is from the enemy, and I don't have anxiety. The enemy puts anxiety like on you if you let him. So I just said, I don't care anymore about that. I don't care to be a chain to the slavery of just how it can make you feel. So I obviously cut the chains off myself and would say, I don't believe in that. I think it's a lie. And obviously stuff like that's controversial. I don't know how to say that word, but
that's
to me,
so good, Mayci.
I think it's true. I mean, I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that there's not maybe there's someone out there that's literally like their brain is wired to be depressed or something. That maybe that exists.
Course.
I'm not smart enough to know if that exists or not. But I will say that a lot of my friends that have been labeled as having depression, anxiety, once they got that label, they accepted it about themselves.
Yeah.
That's now who they are.
Yeah.
No, it's not who you are, bro. Don't let them tell you that. You're a child of God. You're not depressed. That's not your label. That's not your identity. It's like, don't find your identity in that, bro.
By speaking that into existence, by you saying that I have anxiety, I have depression, I am depressed, all this stuff, you're speaking that into existence. You're like, the devil just loves hearing that. And like, as a believer, we are who God says we are. And if you read his word, it'll tell you everything that God says we are, which is none of that. He does not say we are bound to anxious thoughts. We are not bound to depressive thoughts. We are not bound to anything that's
What's he
negative.
say we are? What's he say we are? Come on.
You are
Say it.
loved.
Beautifully and wonderfully made.
You are loved.
We are created in his
own
image.
image.
Oh my goodness. Is this the first one?
Hallelujah.
Hey, man. Hey, this is the first one I've done with you two without my brother to back me up.
Oh yeah, true.
Oh goodness.
But no, I think it's so true, and you become dependent and reliant on it because you feel that that's who you are. Obviously, it's fear, it's worry. That's why you think that you need to take this or else you're not normal. Okay, newsflash, nobody's normal. Everybody has something that they need to not worry about. Fix, maybe like kind of overcome, not worry.
Yeah.
But I just think that if we stop saying, oh my gosh, I'm so different, I'm so weird, all this stuff, I need to work on this, I have ADHD, all this stuff. I just think if you just relax and if there was no labels on you, nothing, I feel like you would feel a lot more like normal to other people. And you are all of this, we're all the same. You know, we're all going through our own battles in life. That doesn't mean that you need to like worry about trying to be, I guess, society wise. I don't know, acceptable. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
I hope
that's
that,
just my thoughts.
Yeah, anyone listening that does feel any of these things, I feel like our audience of people that were genuinely depressed and had anxiety, I haven't been hit up lately at all about like those type of things. It's more been like, oh, you've been helping me with getting closer to God or whatever, which is so cool. But yeah, if you are listening and you do struggle with depression, anxiety, whatever, hit any of us up, underwaterflyzone.podcast, Instagram, hit us up in the DMs.
Yeah,
I will
this is
respond
not
100%.
to shame anybody too that takes medicine or like
No,
goes
not
to
at
the
all.
doctor for mental health reasons. This is like just how we've kind of gotten ourselves through our own issues in our lives.
Yeah.
And, like, to me, this is like the best way you could go about doing anything.
Yeah. And therapy's good. All that
Just
stuff is like
talking.
talking to people is good. What's it called? Like you go see a therapist. I don't even know. Go and see these people. Counselor. Yeah, seeing a counselor. That stuff is good. But when you take literal medicine, to me, I think that you can. I got through it without that, and I was down bad. I was at like what I consider the rock bottom, the lowest I've ever been, and I got through it without any of that. And I'm weak, bro. Don't look at me and think I'm some tough guy. You're probably stronger than me. Like you can do it if I can do it. So
Well,
I hope you know that.
Yeah, everyone goes through a valley in their life. Everyone's gonna have a traumatic event that they go through. Everyone's gonna have a dark, depressive time in their life. That's just how life works. We go through these waves. We talked about it today in yoga. Everyone's gonna have these waves, and it just depends on how hard these waves hit you and how you're gonna bounce back from those waves. And for me, I feel like
You know, like, are you gonna fall down, let it crush you, or are you gonna swim? Are you gonna?
Oh, I lost my thought, but I have it back now.
Okay. Never mind what I said.
You got it.
Forget
No, everyone's gonna go through these like dark valleys, but like for me, being a believer in God, I know that God's always gonna pull me out of them, and He always provides something better. At the end of the day, He's always gonna provide me with so much growth, and He's always gonna just make like we're never gonna stay in those valleys. There's always gonna be a better thing coming after those, and I think just that comes with believing in God and trusting in His plan.
Yeah.
I'm thinking right now too. I'm like, I feel like us three probably we were blessed with pretty good childhoods. Would you all agree? Well, okay. So as I've been like a teacher and stuff, you kind of learn that like we're blessed because not everybody gets a good childhood.
Well,
And
I've learned that too this summer.
Yeah, for sure. And then, so I'm just sitting here thinking, I'm like, is it easy for us to say this because we had a good childhood? Because when you grow up the way a lot of people grow up, it's so hard to like see the light, see the good when all you've ever known was bad. And maybe, that makes depression easier to exist. But the thing is, you do see those stories where people that have the most traumatic experiences are saved by Christ and their life is completely changed. They have this horrible traumatic story, deny Christ their whole life, give Him one chance, and their life is changed. So I just hope that anybody watching that is sitting there thinking what I was just thinking of, like, dude, some people have it way worse than us. Dude, everyone can be saved. Everyone can have their life changed by Jesus. Like, everybody. So I hope that you give it a shot. If you're watching, I don't know. I was just thinking of that though, because it is different, dude. I mean, if you have if your brain's wired differently than ours, it's gonna be tougher. It's not gonna be easier to sit here and say all this stuff.
I think community is one of the most important things when it comes to finding God. Obviously, we've found our community and we've helped each other through a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, there are people out there, like you said, that come from nobody. They have no family to support them. They have no friends to support them. And you just have to like find that community somehow, some way. Like if you really want to feel better mentally, you have to find like people that are going to support you. And like, it's just all about community for me, because I don't think I'd be able to find my relationship that I have now with God without you guys, without my family, like without a lot of people. Like it takes a village to help somebody get out of a rough mental spot too.
Sure.
Yeah. And when you said like there's some people that grow up not having family, not having any of that, don't know God, we are the people that are supposed to go to them to show them Christ, and not to turn our faces away because they don't seem loving or lovable, or maybe might have sin and stuff, you know? I just think that as Christians, as children of God, we are not to keep it all to ourselves and in our own little bubble, but to do what God said to do, to go out to the world, to go be the light in the darkness. And it's just, there's going to be people that it might be hard to, you know, but that's when you need to have discernment and self-control to be able to say, no, I'm going to stand firm against the enemy, because obviously the enemy is telling whoever it is lies and stuff. And love covers a multitude of sin. Love will always win.
Yeah, something I've been thinking a lot about is like the Bible does call us to judge righteously. So that basically means you don't want to be dumb hanging out with people. Like if you hang around like, and this is maybe a bad example because I kind of broke this truth, but if you hang around like 5 millionaires, you'll become the 6. If you hang around 5 druggies, you'll become the 6, you know? Now, a lot of my best friends were druggies and I'm not. But anyways, that's majority of the time. I'll say this. Wait, what was I even saying?
Well, you're just saying.
Gosh, it
I
completely
keep
lost
doing
me.
that this episode too.
I
like
know.
I'm just like
Well, you're just
blanking.
saying
Yeah.
like if you became a millionaire.
Okay, yeah. So God calls us to judge righteously. There it is.
Yeah.
God calls us to judge righteously, which means to be aware of who you're around. But above that, he calls us to love your neighbor. That's the
Yes,
top
more
one. And
than
people like to ignore that and just look at a group of people and be like, they look nasty. They look like they're doing some bad stuff. They look like they're sinning. You're judging them. You're not showing them any love. You just discard them and be like, they're toast. Like,
Yeah.
see ya. What I think Christians need to do and what we need to do to take the next step is to have the courage and the confidence and the strength in God to go up to those people and bring them to God, because those are the people that need it the most. You going up to Christians that already believe and sharing whatever, they already believe,
They already
dude.
heard it, yeah.
We need to be bringing in people and like being bold and not, I mean, it's hard not to walk on eggshells in the world we live in, but yeah, I don't know. That's just something that I've always tried to really make part of me is like, yeah, obviously judge righteously, be smart of who you're surrounding yourself with, but it's your job to love before you judge. God's the judge, bro. We just gotta love. That's our main goal.
Well, and I always think of it like this. Are you going to listen to somebody if you don't have a relationship with them, if you don't have that connection? So you need to make friendships with people before you try and call them out on anything. Like nobody's going to listen to you if they don't know you.
Yeah, not even call out, just even talk about God.
You need to
know?
show them that this is like a safe place and that you love them, you genuinely care about them. Because if you are just saying this to a stranger, like kind of, I don't know, saying you're not supposed to do that, that's wrong, they're going to want to keep doing it. But if you make a relationship and really care about everyone and be nice and be that light, you don't even have to say anything, but people would want to be better because of how you're living, because of looking at you.
For sure.
I think the best thing we can do is loving others. Like that's like the main thing we're called to do as Christian is to love others. And I think when other people see us loving others so much, even whoever it is, like whether it's somebody that does you wrong, whether it's somebody that you don't even know, whether it's somebody that's your best friend, if those people see us loving everybody and like shining God's light, it's going to make them want to follow too and see like I want people to look at me and be like, well, how does she have so much peace in her life? How does she have so much love in her life? How does she have so much happiness in her life? Like, I want people to look at me and think that, like, I'm shining God's light to other people.
Yeah. I think the main reason people don't believe in God has nothing to do with God himself. It's how they were treated by other Christians.
Yes.
I guarantee that's true. I don't have any stats.
And that's a
to
problem
prove it,
when
but
I say, like, sometimes I feel like I'm walking on eggshells. I shouldn't. I should be bold in my faith and go up to people and, like, talk about God more and not feel like it's a touchy subject to talk about.
Yeah, literally.
Because if we make talking about God normal again, like, then it will be more popular and more people will come to Christ and more people will, like, we'll be making heaven crowded.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's weird that, like, when I talk about God, some people literally will view you as a hateful person. That's because some Christians out there have made it seem that way, and that's just, it's cringy to me. It's like, no, it's actually the complete opposite, but it's just the experience a lot of people have, and it's valid too. I look at someone and they're like, they see me wearing my cross or whatever, and they just kind of look at me and they're like, oh, he's a Christian, like, he must hate me. Not at all. Like, I love it, bro. I really do. Like, I don't hate anybody.
Yeah.
No,
So but like, it's tough though because other people have made them think that someone wearing a cross would hate them, and they have completely valid reason to think that. They've legitimately been done wrong by Christians. So that's something we could
It's like the story I told you about with my brother the other day at the mall.
Yep. Oh,
when those fake Christians came up to him and just ruined his view on Christianity.
Yeah. Oh, do you know what we should talk about? Well, first of all, we could get back into the worrying thing real quick. I just want to say again, I think, and this doesn't have much to do about God, but just in general mindset, practically thinking, I feel like worrying, just sitting down and being, oh, I'm so stressed about tomorrow's day at work. I have this big meeting coming up. I feel like that's the biggest waste of time you could possibly do. Because I'll tell you this, in college, I would have a big test coming up. I'd have a big meeting coming up, a big presentation, whatever. And I'd sit there the day before, spending so much time stressed out, worrying about it. This is going to go so bad, blah, 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 blah. And then it would go great. It'd be a great experience. And I'm just like, why did I waste a whole day of my life worrying about this? And it went great. I feel like just practically thinking, we need to realize you sitting down and worrying about tomorrow is such a waste of time. And also you're wasting the most precious thing that you have, which is today, right now, this present moment. You don't have anything else. Nothing else exists. Who's to say you'll even get to the presentation, even get to the test? You know what I'm saying?
That is true.
I think that's something that for me, that's been a big mindset shift, I guess you could say. But
Yeah.
Okay, I have another thing too. Talking about fear God. What does that even mean? Like, I hear people say it so many times. Only thing I fear is God, homie. What are you even, like, do you even know what you're saying right now?
Call your brother out.
Okay, honestly, I was thinking about somebody else. But yeah, Carson does the same thing. A lot of people do that, though. I fear God, homie. What does that even mean, bro?
It's a very known phrase that a lot of people don't talk about the meaning. I'll be completely transparent. I asked you guys in the car a couple weeks ago about it after Paradigm, because I was like, honestly, everyone, like, when we were in the dating series at Paradigm, and we were talking about a God-fearing woman, a God-fearing man. That's who you want to be with. And I was like, honestly, guys, I don't know what that looks like.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm getting something right now, dude. Think about this. There's two ways to look at it. You could fear God in the way that he is the judge. He is the one that could say, you didn't follow me. You didn't do this thing right. You sinned. You didn't repent. He's the judge. He's the one that can find you guilty and send you to you know where. You could look at God and be like, I'm scared of God. I need to follow his way because I'm not trying to be found guilty on Judgment Day. That's scary to me. I'm going to do everything right now. Or you can fear breaking God's heart. Fear making him disappointed in you. I think there's two ways to look at it, because you could fear, when I go and do this, God is not looking at me, oh, what are you doing, bro? Get your stuff together. He's looking at you saying, oh, he turned away again. Heart broke. Like, it's like, it's breaking his heart every time you sin. So there's two ways to look at it. And I've always looked at it the first way. And now I'm trying to just look at it the second way.
It's like when people tell you, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed.
That hurts so much more,
That's how I
bro.
see
So
God.
much more.
Like, he's like, oh, man, like, I'm disappointed in you, daughter. I'm like, that hurts more than him, like, actually, like, getting mad at me.
And that's what he's saying, too. He's not up there being like, like all mad and stuff,
Yeah.
he's like, oh, no, like he wants you to come home. He wants you to be
Yeah.
in heaven. You
Yeah.
just have to want it by your actions.
But
you know?
at the end of the day, when we do sin and like we stray away, he still loves us and he always
Yeah.
forgives us.
yeah, as
And
long
that's
as you ask
something a
and
lot of
repent,
people
yeah.
don't know
Yeah.
about is like he is the most forgiving, merciful, gracious, loving. Like he's all of it. He's the perfect love.
Yeah.
And that's just
It's just
that
so
makes me so
crazy.
happy.
I know.
Just thinking about it, I'm just like
No, when you said it like that too.
the amount of times like everyone strays away at some point. Your relationship with God is never going to be perfect and it's never going to be an uphill ride, but like if you stray away and come back, or if you've never had a relationship with God and you want to join and follow him, he's always going to accept you into his community and he's always going to love you. But it really does not matter how far away you are from God. He loves you and you probably don't even know him yet.
Yeah.
He loves you and you've probably never had a conversation with him yet.
Yeah.
Like he loves
created
everybody.
you,
Yeah.
bro.
He created you and he counted every hair on your head. It says it in the Bible.
Yeah.
And a lot of people just are slower to find
Or
him.
yeah,
And
just,
once you do, it's the best thing you've ever done.
yeah, just can't even comprehend it, you know?
No, the Bible also says his love is like uncomprehendable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just so crazy because, like, God created each and every one of us knowing that we might not ever want to even get to know him, but he still created us because he wants us to have that free will to choose him. And that's that just shows you how much God loves us, because how powerful he is. He could make us his robots and do anything by his command, but he loves us so much that
he wants us to choose him.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And it says, there's something that I read, it said God would create the whole universe again just to hear somebody say that they love Jesus.
It was a quote. It was Jesus, and it said, "I would create the whole universe again just to hear you say you love me." It was at the Newman Center.
Aw.
Yeah. Anyways.
That's just so crazy.
I know.
I don't know. I love thinking about
You
this
really
stuff.
can't comprehend
No.
it.
Like, if you really think about it, he sent his one and only son to die on the cross for our sins, knowing that people were going to hate him, knowing that people were going to bash his name, hate him, turn away from him, do everything in their power to not follow him and love him, and he still loves you.
Yep.
It's just so crazy.
It's uncomprehendable.
Yeah,
it really is.
human.
Like,
We can't
you have
comprehend
no
it.
idea how much I just sit there and think about it sometimes. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, this. No wonder like people like struggle to find a strong relationship with him, is because it is really hard to
Yeah.
And God knows that.
finding your faith and like trust takes a long time. Like fully trusting in God's plan for you takes a long time to figure out.
And
I just, it took me a long time.
yeah, it's like we're going to be, I pray 80 years old one day and still learn more about God every single day. God, like there's always so much more to learn about him. And it's just so crazy because there's this thing I saw. There's like a long rope and it says your life on earth, and then he pulled all this, your life on eternity. Why are you worrying about the next little step when you you need to focus on literally your destination, because that's going to help with the process of moving along each and every day. If you keep dreading every single day, your life is so short. It is a speck of dust. That's what God said in the Bible. It's literally that fast. It's just crazy. And I think that's what helps me not worry, and kind of just, because whenever I think I'm going to die one day, like this is not going to be here. Why would I stress about a homework assignment tomorrow or getting the perfect venue, perfect dress, and all that stuff? That stuff sounds so irrelevant.
Can I go a little off topic? Something just popped into my head.
For sure.
So I watched, if you are struggling with trying to find a relationship with God, watch the movie. I don't even know if you guys have seen this. The Case for Christ.
Never heard of it.
Everyone needs to watch this movie. It is so good. And it like has this one little short phrase that the main character says in the middle of the movie, and it has stuck with me for like forever. And this is what I tell people that are non-believers, because I know I hang out with a lot of people that are non-believers, and I always tell them this, like, there's two sides of being a Christian, and either way, it's a win-win. If you decide to follow God, you can either. This is really hard to say, but I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah,
Just say it.
Okay, you can be a Christian and you can follow God, and if we're right about Christianity and there's a heaven
Yep.
and there's an eternity, and if we're right about this, we get to live a peaceful, joyful, happy, loving life here on earth, enjoy our life genuinely, and spend an eternity in a heaven that's the perfect place with zero negativity, everything.
Yeah.
We get to spend an eternity with God. Say we're wrong. Say we're wrong about Christianity and we go nowhere. We still get to live this life that we have on earth with peace, joy, love,
Yeah.
all of that. We get to live a life with no worries, no stress, just trusting in our God's plan.
Mhm.
Although I don't believe that we're wrong,
Yeah.
it's a win-win because either way, this life on earth, we're living the best life we can.
Yeah.
I agree.
And we're
That's
not
so
living
true.
a life full of worry, depression, anxiety, all of that
Yeah.
stuff.
Mhm.
That's how I look at it. That movie was so impactful for me. I know somebody that was an atheist that watched it, and he said it really impacted him.
Mhm.
Aw.
And I think everybody should watch that movie. If you're having doubts, if you're having questions, I think
Yeah.
it was a great movie, and that has stuck with me for so long.
I love
good.
that.
That's good. I
That's
don't
so
want to. I don't want this to come off as hateful, but I have told people before. I'm like, if I'm right, I gain everything, and you lose everything.
Yeah.
If you're right, we both just don't really. We'll never even know.
Yeah.
Like, who even like, you know? What I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Exactly. Like, by choosing to follow God, you are gaining everything that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything
You
that's
literally can't lose, and
It's a win-win.
yeah, that's good stuff.
It's hard to think about.
Yeah. And it's
I just
so
wish
true.
people would to me, that just sounds like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
to some people, it's really not, because you do have to die in your old ways and
You have
be
to-
made new.
Yeah. Exactly.
Here's the thing about following God is people always say you have to stop doing all these things when you want to follow God. When you decide that you want to become a Christian, you have to stop drinking, you have to stop smoking, you have to stop sinning. That you don't have to stop sinning. You have to. God says, "Come as you are. He will make you new.
100%.
Come as you are. Don't try to fix yourself before coming to God. He will fix you." And everyone always thinks you have to stop doing all that stuff before they come to God, but in
Mhm.
reality, your heart will change as you grow with God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your heart
that's
will
so
change.
true.
You won't want to drink. You won't want to smoke. You won't want to disappoint our Father.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to come to him as a perfect person. Nobody's perfect.
Yeah,
You're
no.
never, if you're waiting until you're perfect and you're not sinning anymore, you're never going to find
You're gonna
God.
wait your
You're
whole
going to
life.
wait your whole
Yeah.
life.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so true.
That's
so
so cool.
Dude, something that you said on your first episode when you were on here, you said, and I've brought it up a few times because it really hit with me. You said, the path to following God is not easy, but it's better than any life that you can live without God.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it is not easy, bro.
No.
You have to deny, dude. Oh my gosh.
Well, okay, and there's
You
this
have
one
to
thing.
stand against your flesh.
Yeah,
What the
everything
world
that you
wants, you have to
Yes.
go against.
everything that you in like just by design want, you have to deny, and it's oh man.
But
it
the
is
more
tough.
I grow closer with God and I'm walking with him and I'm not walking in front of him or behind him and I'm walking side by side with God, the less I want to do those things.
Yeah.
The less I want to disappoint him. So I'm becoming a better person, but it is a daily struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Every day the devil wants you to do the bad thoughts in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every day the devil wants you to do the bad things. You're not ever going to want to do the things that are good for you because that's the devil getting in your head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You have to have discipline. That's the biggest thing I've learned.
100%.
And I was gonna say what you said about like how it's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be worth it. That if it was easy, then everybody would be able to do it. And it's so
Yeah.
funny because it's always the stuff that's the hardest that makes it more worthy, more
Yeah.
rewarding. So I obviously think that our relationship with God, marriage, it's going to be hard and tough, but it's going to be the best thing ever because of how worth it will be.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
That's
I'm
true
excited.
with anything in life. The hard things are always better because it's more exclusive. It's like
Yeah.
if it was easy,
Nobody
everyone would be
want-
doing it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is good. We're at 50 minutes. Dude, something I've been struggling with,
It does
and you
not
guys,
feel like 50 minutes.
I know it's crazy. You've been balling. I'm just sitting here like viral.
Yeah, I was like,
I was gonna say
something.
all
but then I
of us
stopped.
are preaching right now. This is good.
Dude, well, I want to say something. Like, when y'all were talking about God's love and all that, did you notice I kind of didn't say much? Because that's something I've been struggling with, dude.
Really?
It's like, so the path to following God is not easy for the fact of having to deny yourself, but also having to believe in something that you can't see.
Yeah.
Is so tough.
Oh, that took me the longest. I'm a big, like, if I can't hear it, like, actually hear something,
Yeah.
I'm not going to believe that something is speaking to me.
Yeah, if I can't get God to sit down and get on the mic with me,
It's very
then
difficult.
he can't be real, right?
Yeah.
No, dude, that's something that's really been tough for me lately, but it's always been tough for me. But I've always believed in God my whole life. And then I've really started to really follow God recently. But you do get those thoughts sometimes, and I'm an open-minded person. I like to hear both sides of an argument and then decide what I want. So that means that I listen to the atheists, I listen to their arguments, and I really think about them, because I don't want to be sitting here making a podcast about something that I don't really
one-sided.
Yeah, or like sitting here about something that I don't truly believe, or that I haven't really. I like to get in there and really know. And there's some things they'll say sometimes, and I'm just like, dang, I don't know how to answer that. But then Pastor Phil will answer it. But anyways,
That was crazy.
yeah, like someone always has an answer. But sometimes I sit there and I'm like, man, how can this be real? And it's just something I've struggled with lately. I don't know, but I just keep like
when you mean like love, like knowing that God
not
loves you, or
I know God loves me and all that stuff. I just sometimes I'm like, how is this? How do we know this? How can we prove this? You know what I'm saying? But then again, sometimes I sit here and I'm like, I don't care to prove it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care to prove it, because if I was to live this life not believing, there's no fulfillment in that. There's no purpose in that. I just can't even see why I would live if I didn't believe in God. God is the only reason I am living. Like, I wouldn't even care to be alive without God.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
So it's like I have to believe, or else what's the point of all this? So that's what keeps me going back. And then also, every time I have these thoughts, which is why I'm kind of excited, because every time I've had these thoughts in the past, God always reveals himself again.
Yeah, in ways that you don't know.
Yeah, it's just,
That you don't
I don't know.
expect.
I've just also been kind of like not I don't get stressed, or like we've been talking about stress and worry. I don't really get stressed and worried. I just get kind of like, man, am I really doing what's right for me right now? I don't know. But that's a whole talk off camera. I don't want to get in my personal life.
About is like whether I'm following God's plan or not.
Yeah.
Like whether I'm going down the
That's
path
it.
that He
That's
sets
it.
for me.
Yeah.
I always kind of picture whenever I do enter the gates of heaven and I'm like standing at the door and I'm talking to God about like whether I'm getting in or not, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I saw this somewhere, but basically it's like He'll show you what He did have planned for you, and then He'll be like, "This is what you did. This is what you could have done."
Yeah.
And if I'm way off, that's when I'm like, kind of like, okay, God. And this is when I start talking to God more. I'm like, we talked about it at Paradigm about prayer, which is so important, and a lot of Christians don't even really think about prayer as much as they should.
Yeah.
But Pastor Phil said prayer should be continual. You should have a continuous conversation going with God throughout the day. That's kind of how I have found the best way to talk to God is like when I'm in my car, turn off the music or put on my worship music and just kind of talk to Him like a friend and like ask Him, am I going down the right path? And if I'm not, please put me on the right path or take me off the path I'm on. Show me what I should be doing instead if I'm doing the wrong thing.
Yeah, for sure.
And talk to Him like He's your friend. Like it doesn't have to be, there's no right way to pray. There's no right way to do any of this. We're all just figuring it out as we go.
Yeah.
I agree. I don't know. I guess it's not as much that I've been struggling with doubts of Him being real. Like, I know God's real, but I guess it's more that. I was trying to say what you just said, basically. Because, yesterday when I was setting up the gym and all this stuff, like cleaning out my equipment closet and all this stuff, I was listening to Christian music, and I'm just walking around. I was literally walking around, like, hands up, like, feeling it. I was feeling so amazingly, like, fulfilled yesterday. It was great. So like, it's not like I'm doubting, but as I was doing that, I'm like, man, is packing this parachute what I should be doing right now, or should I be packing orders? Or like, you know what I'm saying? Is this like, what should I be doing? But then again, I don't really need to rush it because I'm young, but it's gonna be cool. I don't know, dude. I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to sit here and talk about my personal life, but that's just something I've been.
It's good to know, like when someone with as strong as faith as you have, it's good to see your struggles.
Yeah, I will say that. Yeah, don't.
And like we don't live perfect lives.
Yeah,
Us
never.
three,
Yeah, never.
Like we're going through things as well.
That's the cringiest thing about doing this podcast is sometimes I think people think that I have it all figured out.
Yeah,
I don't know nothing.
Yeah,
I know a little bit.
Like
I
won't say nothing.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm 23, bro.
We're just trying our best.
We're just trying our best to be a light in the world, bro. That's what I always say. So I just hope that's known, like that right there, and also it's known that we have I struggle a lot with a lot of stuff still. It's like I know all these like mindset things, but it's hard to live that stuff out, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I had something else. Oh yeah, I'm also an idiot. I don't pray at all. That's on me, bro. It's like, oh, you're off the path.
Did you figure that out at Paradigm this week?
Yeah, literally, when he started talking about prayer at Paradigm, I'm like, I'm an idiot. But then again, I listen to only worship music, so I consider that my prayer. But like, it's good. It's good to sit in quiet and pray too. And like, I'm sitting there at Paradigm, and I'm like, I'm so dumb. Like, why do I not just make time to pray?
I was like that too. I would say I've been pretty disciplined this summer.
Yeah.
Just because I do a lot of driving.
Yeah.
To work and back and stuff, and I was working 2 jobs that were kind of far away this summer. So the drive is when I found my quiet time to pray. It's really hard for me. I feel like I get distracted really easily when I'm at home because I have a lot of people in my house. I have a lot of pets. Like it's hard to just like, and like you said, praying before bed, sometimes you're just so tired you're gonna fall asleep.
I did tell you about that.
And you've got to give God that time, just like He's giving you that time to listen.
Mm-hmm.
I've just found like small moments in my day throughout the day to do it, and it's changed like my relationship with God. But like you said, before this summer, I really like was not praying as much as I should. Like not every day, not near as much as I should.
And that's the answer, dude.
Yeah.
If you like to feel
you
God,
ask
you got to
and
spend
you
time
shall
with God.
receive. But if you're not
literally.
asking, you're
can't
never
receive
gonna
nothing.
receive.
Yeah, that's what Pastor Phil said.
Yeah. He made it so simple on Tuesday. He's like, guys, you got to ask for what you want. You got to speak what you
100%.
want help with. If you want help, you got to just ask God.
Yeah, for real.
And he's like, and He will answer your prayer with a yes, a no, or a not yet.
Yeah.
And you've got to accept whatever answer He gives you.
Mm-hmm. This is so good, dude. I like I'm so zoned in on the conversation that like you get to see my like self-critical side a little bit. That's something I always like to cover up, but I'm so self-critical.
Yeah.
Like
About what?
Dude.
Like, what do you mean?
Like just even me saying right there that I haven't been praying, like
oh yeah,
I say it and like smile and stuff, but inside it's like you're a freaking idiot. Like dude, it's I don't know. But yeah, like this has been so good.
Like,
this is one of my favorite episodes for real.
I don't want to come on here and say like all 3 of us don't worry at all. That's what
yeah,
I
not
don't
at
want
all.
this
I literally
podcast to
just
come
did
out.
2 days ago.
Yeah, we were just talking in the car the other day about wedding venues and how stressful it can be.
Yeah.
But at the end of every conversation, you got to come back together and be like, we don't have to worry though.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
figured out. We're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
And that's the good thing about community is we can help each other, keep each other disciplined.
Yeah, that's one thing I like is the saying "it's finished."
Mm-hmm.
That really
The book
it
is
is
written.
finished. Yeah,
It's
already
finished.
done, dude. The battle's won. Like, what are we really out here
Yeah.
worried
We say
and
that
stressed
in
about?
softball a lot. Like when we go to play a game, the book has already been written. You just have to go play it out. You
Yeah.
gotta just go through the chapters how they're supposed to be written.
Mm-hmm.
Just let it play out.
Exactly. Well, we're 59 minutes in. I do want to say shout out Jack Fields with the camera. Y'all better go watch the last episode. Bro came on here and just absolutely dominated his rookie debut. So shout out Jack Fields. And Katlynn, I will miss you greatly, but you'll be back.
Yeah, you'll be back a lot.
Yeah.
Definitely
And we'll be down there
in September.
too.
Yeah.
In September.
But
We're gonna go
Oh,
to
yeah.
wedding dress shopping. Woo!
It's all begun.
yes. It's been
Hopefully
a good
that's the
summer,
first
dude.
and last one.
Yeah, for real. It's been a good summer. Katlynn, what so you're kind of like a co-host, rotational co-host. I didn't ever make an official announcement,
Wow.
but What? You known this?
No, I haven't.
Okay, what?
I've been on
Okay,
here, what, 3 times?
this is the 3rd time, but okay, when you get almost 100K views on a reel, bro, you gotta know you're in the gang at that point.
We just got to talk about the right stuff, which is God.
Yep,
For
exactly.
sure.
Like I told you, I'm not going viral. God is going viral.
Facts. But yeah, so Katlynn, just you'll be gone for a little bit. The viewers at this point have seen you 3 times.
I know you're gonna miss me. I'll be back.
She'll be back.
She wants.
I
to
just
be
want
back.
you to give a little last little message. It'll be a few months. Maybe you'll come back on the weekend. Well, okay. Well, say there's a viewer out there and they really love watching and hearing you talk. What would you like to say to them?
Follow me. No, I'm just kidding. I
Follow
don't
me.
post
She
on
deleted
Instagram.
all of her.
Yeah, I don't
social
even get
media.
on socials really, but what should I like? What do you
I
mean?
don't know, some motivation.
Foster?
They're about to start
Yeah,
school.
motivation
They're
and
probably like a high
advice.
schooler, I don't know, a college
Okay,
student.
so like what we talked about in today's episode, the best thing you can do for yourself is just live in the present moment.
Mm-hmm.
Be in the present moment. Don't worry about tomorrow. Your book is already written. Everything's gonna be okay.
Yep.
That's all I have.
Yay. Oh, there. I just hit the mic.
I'm gonna miss you guys.
Hey, I'll miss you too. Will you miss her?
Mayci,
Uh-huh.
we can cut it there.
Yeah, we good. Mayci, another great episode. You killed this one. This was probably
I was just like this the whole time.
You were preaching.
I was just like
When
this
you
the whole
did talk,
time.
you were
I was like,
preaching.
I
I'm
got a
sorry.
lot of work to
I'm
do.
no,
with
sorry.
it's
this
okay.
one. Dude, I'm gonna have to edit so many
This
reels.
is because she didn't speak when we were talking about what we're gonna
There
talk
was
about.
so much stuff I was gonna say.
Me and Foster were planning out, and she was just
No,
sitting
I was
there
on
Yeah.
when
like,
you guys were talking. I was like, oh, I was gonna say something, and then you guys would go on another one, and then I was like, oh, and then you guys go on another one, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just not gonna talk.
Dude.
No, I'm talking about when we were planning this episode.
Oh, I can do things
Miss was
like
like-
right off the bat.
Never mind. I'm not gonna
I'm
call
breaking.
you out.
I'm breaking. Oh
What? I
my
don't care.
gosh, I broke.
What? Careful.
All right.
Oh
Hey,
my.
well, we could go back over and listen to what you want to say, and then you'll be back on. Katlynn had the ball out today.
True,
And she
that is
did.
true.
Hey,
That
all right.
is
My
happening.
chair's broke, y'all. I'm going to end this right here. Love you guys. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we will catch you next time. Katlynn, enjoy SBU, but get back here as soon as you can.
Bye,
Peace out,
guys.
y'all.